It begins with a knock at the door. Kevin McMullen, a manager at Northern Bank, opens it to find two men in police uniforms. They tell him there's been a family accident and he's needed immediately. But the moment he steps outside, everything changes. A gun is shoved into the back of his head. Inside, his wife Karen is grabbed by the throat and dragged to the ground. At the very same time, 20 miles away across Belfast, another family faces the exact same nightmare. Chris Ward, a bank employee, is at home watching football with his family when strangers knock at his door. He lets them in, believing it's a normal visit. Instead, masked men storm the room, point guns at his family, and give him a chilling order: follow instructions, or they die. This is the story of how two ordinary men were forced into carrying out the largest bank heist in UK history. Kevin and Chris are taken hostage separately. Their families remain under armed guard. The kidnappers know everything about them: where they live, who they love, where they work, and most importantly, they know that Kevin and Chris hold the keys to Northern Bank's underground vault. That vault is no ordinary room. It's the beating heart of the bank, where millions in cash are stored and distributed. By coincidence, both men are scheduled to be key holders the very next morning. The kidnappers' plan is simple but ruthless. Kevin and Chris will go to work. They will act normal. They will unlock the vault. And they will quietly move millions of pounds into waiting vans. Phones are handed to both men, each with a single number programmed in. Any mistake, any sign of disobedience, and the kidnappers warn their families will be killed. December 20th, 2004. It's the week before Christmas, and Northern Bank is busier than ever. Millions of pounds are being counted and sorted to meet holiday demand. At 11 a.m, Kevin and Chris arrive at work. On the outside, nothing seems wrong. They laugh with colleagues, sip coffee, shuffle paperwork. But inside, they're terrified. Every glance, every conversation could expose them. Their families' lives hang in the balance. All day they wait, knowing the real test will come at 5 p.m. When the moment arrives, Kevin dismisses most of the staff, claiming there's a problem with the balance sheets. Only 2 security guards remain in the basement. At exactly 5 p.m, Kevin and Chris descend into the underground vault. The room is stacked floor to ceiling with green boxes, each capable of holding up to £1 million. The kidnappers' instructions are meticulous. Swap the security seals. A green box with a white seal no longer means cash. On the system, it registers as waste paper. One by one, Kevin and Chris roll out trolleys stacked with these disguised boxes. They push them through the basement corridors, past security cameras, and into the back gate of the bank. The guard on duty, Billy, opens the doors without question. Minutes later, a white van reverses into the alley. The boxes are loaded in. 7 minutes is all it takes to make millions of pounds vanish. But it isn't over. The kidnappers call again. Kevin and Chris are ordered back into the vault. This time there are no disguises. They stuff loose banknotes, sterling, euros, even US dollars, into black bags. Another $5 million. 45 minutes later, the van returns. The bags are wheeled out and loaded inside. And then, as casually as if nothing happened, one of the robbers turns to the men and says, "That's it, lads, you can go." By the time it's finished, 26.5 million is gone. No alarms, no forced entry, just 2 terrified employees following orders. At 8:10 p.m, Kevin finally calls the police, but by then, the robbers have vanished. Investigators are stunned. This isn't just theft, it's a humiliation. The largest bank robbery in UK history, carried out in plain sight. Raids sweep across Belfast, Dublin and Cork. Suspects with ties to organised crime and the IRA are arrested. Millions in stolen banknotes are recovered, hidden in compost heaps, burned in backyards, stuffed inside washing powder boxes. But no direct link to the robbery itself is ever found. The Northern Bank robbery wasn't just a crime, it was a statement. A heist carried out in silence, under the noses of guards, cameras and investigators. 26.5 million disappeared, and 2 decades later, the full truth still hasn't surfaced. But what really happened that December night? Who planned it? Who profited? And why has justice never been served? If you want to dive deeper into stories like this, where history, mystery, and crime collide, make sure you like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications for DocLix. We bring you gripping true crime documentaries every week, uncovering the cases that still leave more questions than answers. Because sometimes, the biggest robberies don't just steal money, they steal the truth.